Tesla is quietly preparing one of its most important battery shifts since the 4680. In 2026, two next-gen chemistries are now in play, aluminum-ion and sodium-ion, both built to slash costs, boost safety, and unlock mass-market production. And if Tesla wants the Model 2 to hit its aggressive sub-$20,000 target, the winner between these two technologies could decide everything. In today's video, we're breaking down how aluminum-ion and sodium-ion compare in charging speed, energy density, cycle life, cost, and real-world ownership impact, especially for future Model 2 buyers. Will aluminum-ion really deliver ultra-fast charging and longer lifespan than today's lithium packs? Can sodium-ion keep EV prices low enough to finally kill the gas car in the entry segment? And most importantly, which battery is the better deal for your wallet, your road trips, and last but not least, your upcoming Model 2? We're about to find out. Welcome to autogearshift, the channel that delivers verified Tesla breakdowns, real engineering context, and zero hype, unlike rumor-driven EV channels. If you want news that respects your time, your intelligence, and your money, hit subscribe and ring the bell so we can push this channel to 14,789 subs. And make sure you never fall behind the industry. And a quick note before we go on. Because this video compiles all verified and updated reports on these two battery types, you may notice small changes in specs or pricing along the way. That's intentional. We keep everything fresh, accurate, and up to date, so you always get the closest look at the truth behind Tesla's most anticipated car.
Battery health 7%. So that's way lower than I expected.
When it comes to EVs, the biggest fear, especially for anyone who's owned a lithium-ion car, is battery degradation. After 6 to 8 years, range drops, charging slows, and replacement can cost as much as a used vehicle. Tesla's 2026 Model 2 changes that with aluminum-ion tech.
And here you can see battery pack.
About 2.5 times the energy density of lithium-ion, over 10,000 charge cycles with 99% capacity retention, and stable operation from minus 40 degrees Celsius to 200 degrees Celsius. That's nearly 27 years of daily charging before serious loss. But here's the paradox. When the battery lasts this long, other components may fail first. Tesla's answer? A real-time battery health app and a climate-optimized system for extreme heat and cold. Will it truly slash long-term costs or shift problems elsewhere? What makes Tesla's new aluminum-ion battery technology a game-changer for the Model 2? Tesla's aluminum-ion battery delivers a massive energy boost with 1,060 watt-hours per kilogram capacity. That's 2.6 times more power than current lithium-ion batteries. While today's Tesla Model S packs about 400 watt-hours per kilogram, the Model 2's new system fits the energy of 2.5 traditional batteries in the same space. This means much longer range or lighter weight, without losing driving distance. The battery life numbers are impressive. These cells handle 7,500 to 10,000 charge cycles while keeping 99% capacity. Most current EV batteries start losing power after 1,000 to 1,500 cycles. Tesla's new technology could last 7 times longer before needing replacement. The Model 2 battery might actually outlast the car itself. Temperature performance solves a major EV problem. The aluminum-ion system works at 200 degrees Celsius without thermal runaway issues. It also operates in minus 40-degree cold with less than 3% efficiency loss. Model 2 owners won't see battery shutdowns in Phoenix summer heat. Minnesota drivers won't face the 20 to 30% winter range drops that hurt current EVs. The environmental benefits are significant too. Tesla can recycle 80% of the battery materials through existing processes. Aluminum extraction uses current recycling infrastructure, unlike lithium mining that needs lots of water and damages sensitive areas. This creates a closed-loop system that cuts raw material costs. Competitors using lithium-ion can't match this without building expensive new recycling plants. As Tesla scales Model 2 production to millions of units, this advantage becomes huge. Do you want the Model 2 to run on Tesla's groundbreaking aluminum-ion battery? Just comment yes or no, and we'll count all your votes. Don't forget to tell us why in the comments. We love reading your thoughts. How does Tesla's battery health app address the immortal battery paradox in the Model 2? The aluminum-ion battery's extraordinary longevity creates an unexpected challenge that Tesla engineers call the immortal battery paradox. With batteries designed to last 7,500 to 10,000 cycles, the Model 2's power system will likely outlive every other component in the vehicle. While the battery maintains 99% capacity after thousands of cycles, auxiliary motors typically fail after 150,000 miles, electrical systems degrade after 8 to 12 years, software requires major updates every 5 years, seals and gaskets need replacement every 100,000 miles, and body panels suffer wear from normal use. This shift means owners face a new reality where non-battery components become the primary maintenance concern. Without proper monitoring of the battery and related systems, Model 2 owners still risk expensive repair bills from failures unrelated to the main battery pack. A failing auxiliary cooling pump could cost $800 to replace, while electrical system diagnostics might run $300 to $500 per incident. Software corruption requiring Tesla Service Center intervention averages $1,200, and worn door seals can lead to $2,000 in water damage repairs. These seemingly minor issues compound over the vehicle's extended lifespan, potentially costing more than traditional battery replacement would have in older EVs. Tesla's solution comes through the comprehensive battery health app that transforms how owners interact with their vehicle's long-term maintenance needs. The system continuously collects data from 847 individual sensors monitoring temperature variations across battery modules, voltage fluctuations during charge and discharge cycles, and detailed charging pattern analysis. Advanced AI algorithms process this information stream to predict component wear patterns and generate maintenance recommendations before problems occur. The app provides critical alerts when the battery approaches key life cycle milestones at 1,000, 5,000, and 8,000 cycles, allowing owners to plan for optimal performance management. The practical benefits deliver measurable value through extended component life and reduced surprise maintenance costs. Tesla's internal testing shows the battery health app can extend overall battery system longevity by 15 to 20% through optimized charging schedules and thermal management. The system's predictive capabilities eliminate most unexpected breakdowns by flagging potential issues 2 to 6 weeks before failure occurs. Color-coded interface alerts use red warnings for immediate attention, yellow notifications for upcoming maintenance windows, and green confirmations for optimal system status. Interactive charts display battery degradation curves, temperature history, and charging efficiency trends over time. How does the Model 2 conquer extreme weather challenges that cripple other EVs? Current electric vehicles face devastating performance losses in harsh climates, with lithium-ion batteries losing 20 to 40% of their capacity when temperatures drop below -30 degrees Celsius or climb above 45 degrees Celsius. Chicago drivers experience range drops from 300 miles to just 180 miles during January cold snaps, while Phoenix owners see similar degradation during summer months when asphalt temperatures reach 65 degrees Celsius. These limitations force many potential EV buyers in extreme climate regions to stick with gasoline vehicles, creating significant market barriers for electric adoption in places like Montana, North Dakota, Arizona, and Nevada. Tesla enhances the aluminum-ion advantage with advanced thermal management systems designed specifically for extreme environments. The new graphene cooling plate technology distributes heat evenly across the entire battery pack using microscopic carbon structures that conduct thermal energy 10 times more efficiently than traditional aluminum cooling systems. Smart charging mode automatically adjusts power delivery rates based on real-time weather data, slowing charge speeds during extreme heat to prevent thermal stress and increasing current flow during cold conditions to maintain optimal battery temperature. The battery housing features specialized moisture-resistant and salt corrosion protection coatings that prevent degradation in coastal cold regions where road salt and ocean spray create particularly challenging conditions. Real-world testing validates these extreme climate capabilities through rigorous field trials across North America's harshest environments. Alaska testing at -35°C showed the Model 2 maintaining 97% of its rated capacity, losing less than 3% efficiency compared to optimal conditions. Nevada desert trials at 45°C demonstrated even better results with less than 2% capacity reduction, allowing full-speed highway driving without thermal management interventions. The practical implications transform electric vehicle viability across previously unsuitable markets, potentially opening 40 million additional households to EV adoption. Model 2 owners in International Falls, Minnesota won't need backup gasoline vehicles for winter emergencies, while ranchers in West Texas can rely on consistent performance during summer work cycles. Tesla estimates the extreme weather capability could increase the addressable EV market by $180 billion annually by making electric vehicles practical for the 30% of American drivers currently living in regions with regular temperature extremes below -20°C or above 40°C. What do you think? Would a battery that could last 25+ years make you finally switch to an EV? Do you see this tech lowering ownership costs, or just moving the weak points elsewhere? And how important is extreme weather performance to you? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read them all.
Batteries are just going to be a massive thing.
Just a few days ago, China found a 1 million ton lithium mine near Everest, and it's just 2 weeks after the news of another 1.3 million tons in Hunan. Did Elon Musk catch in a vice now? Dependence on China for supply? Not really. Inside Tesla's Austin lab, things look very different. Tesla is testing a technology that could end the whole lithium war, aluminum ion. A battery that's lighter by a few hundred pounds, saves you thousands of dollars, but can be charged in mere minutes and has 3 times the energy density of lithium. Are you already curious about how aluminum batteries will outperform 4,680 Li-ion pack? And if Tesla can bring aluminum batteries into their upcoming Model 2, will it be enough to meet what Americans really need in an electric car? How ultra-light aluminum packs outclass the heavy 4680 design? Tesla's 4,680 cells are already impressive. 250 watt-hours per kilogram, 340 miles of range, and launching a 6,800-pound Cybertruck from 0 to 60 in 5 seconds. 60 in just 2.6 seconds. But the problem is, they're still heavy and built like tiny metal vaults. Each cell is wrapped in steel, packed with copper foil, a dense graphite anode, and heavy metal cathodes. Tesla is looking to something that can simplify their battery packs, and that's aluminum. Instead of a complex stack of parts, it's now just a single solid block of aluminum. One piece that serves as both the cathode and the conductive frame. Over 120 kilograms of heavy metals like nickel and cobalt will be replaced with a lightweight material, just 2.7 grams per cubic centimeter, which is just about a third the weight of them. But aluminum isn't just lighter, it also handles a ticking time bomb in lithium, or what we call dendrite. Lithium-ion packs are fragile, full of flammable solvents, and need protection layers to avoid short circuits and overheating. Instead of that, aluminum batteries use ionic liquid electrolytes, a dense salt solution that's non-flammable and stable above 200°C, more than twice the flash point of lithium-ion at 80 to 100°C. That means an aluminum pack doesn't need thick separators, cooling pipes, or liquid coolant. Tesla can drop 70 to 80 kilograms of that dead weight that used to sit in a 4680 pack. The energy is now concentrated in the active storage material rather than feeding a bulky protective structure. And because each aluminum atom can carry 3 electrons compared to lithium's 1, aluminum-ion cells can reach 200 to 300 watt-hours per kilogram, while lithium tops out at 160 to 180 watt-hours per kilogram for the same mass. Another thing that Tesla will ditch is the battery cover. Traditional manufacturers like Ford, Volkswagen, and Toyota still cram packs under heavy steel frames. Tesla is using 4,680 cylindrical cells in aluminum trays for rigidity and protection. But if aluminum-ion battery technology is applied in Model 2 or next-gen Model Y, it will become the new standard. There will be no more battery box design. Instead of stacking individual cells, aluminum packs will be stamped as a single block using GigaPress and integrated directly into the car's floor. Simply put, Tesla will turn the pack into part of the chassis, simplifying structure, boosting rigidity, and cutting nearly 88 pounds of casing to reduce total pack weight by 11%. It doesn't sound like much, but we will have more 10 to 15 miles of range and room for more cells, increasing overall efficiency. Tesla's formula is simple: less metal, more energy. Swap materials, shave 300 pounds off a battery pack, and a 75 kilowatt-hour lithium 4680 pack drops from 970 pounds to roughly 550 pounds with aluminum ion. When Tesla brings aluminum ion to market, do you think it'll reset the game for every other EV maker still stuck on lithium? If the answer is yes, drop a "goodbye lithium" in the comments. Or tell us why you're not convinced down below. How abundant aluminum shield Tesla prices from raw material spikes? Aluminum is the second most common metal in the Earth's crust, taking 8% of the planet's mass, and there's dozens of times more of it than lithium. In other words, we're not running out of this material anytime soon. That means 2 big wins: stable supply and low cost. While other electric car makers are spending millions on increasingly scarce lithium, cobalt, or nickel, Tesla's working on aluminum with raw material costs of just $2,500 a ton, and with an aluminum battery pack design that's 150 kilograms lighter and needs 60% fewer welds. Tesla's saving about $1,900 per car in materials and labor right there. But here's the kicker: aluminum isn't just cheap, it's local. While lithium refining is over 60% controlled by China, aluminum can be processed right here in the US. We have over 300 million tons of bauxite reserves, mostly in Arkansas, Texas, Georgia, and steady imports from Canada and Australia. With independent battery plants in Nevada and Giga Texas, Tesla can manage everything from mining to refining to production. There's no $150 per pack just for overseas lithium shipping. No 25% import tax to pay to Trump on Chinese goods. In total, Tesla is now saving about $4,700 per battery pack, bringing the cost down to just $3,900 compared to $8,600 for lithium packs today. This reduction is exactly why aluminum batteries fit perfectly into Musk's plan to launch a low-cost Model 2 with an expected price of under $25,000 in the fourth quarter of 2025. Evenly, with a cheaper aluminum pack, the real price of the car could fall to around $21,000 before incentives. And once you add in the $7,500 federal EV tax credit under the IRA plus Tesla's quarter-end sales events that often knock off another $1,000 to $2,000, American customers could end up paying as little as $11,523 to $12,000 for a brand new Tesla. Then, the next question will be, how Tesla's aluminum battery will make Model 2 perfect American drives? The combination of Tesla Model 2 and aluminum-ion battery is expected to deliver an impressive 647 miles per charge. That's a massive leap over Tesla Model 3's 363 miles and Model Y's 337 miles. And when compared to the 247 miles of Chevrolet Bolt EUV or 226 miles of Nissan Leaf Plus, the Model 2 leaves them in the dust. Put it in everyday terms. Most Americans drive around 37 miles a day, and for retirees, it's often just 20 to 30. That means a single charge on the Model 2 could cover 2 weeks of driving. You can run to the grocery store, hit the gym, see the doctor, and even take weekend trips to visit the grandkids, all without worrying about recharging. Even when it comes to longer trips, a single charge on the Model 2 can take you from LA to San Francisco and back, or from New York to Boston with juice left over. Charging time isn't an issue either. Aluminum-ion packs are 60 times faster than your typical lithium battery. This is because aluminum ions move between the anode and cathode 15 times faster during charging, and they don't create localized hotspots. The batteries can handle high power without breaking a sweat, and the temperature only rises to a maximum of about 40 degrees Celsius during fast charging at 60 degrees Celsius. There's no need to slow down to a trickle 1 to 2 degrees Celsius after 80% like lithium batteries do to reduce the risk of explosion. So for the Model 2, it will take just 4 minutes to reach 80% and 7 minutes to fully charge. Now, with more than 50,000 charging ports across the US in Tesla's V4 supercharger network, this means that Model 2 owners in the future will only have to plug in twice a month. No more waiting in line at a charging station, no more worrying about battery capacity when planning trips. Elon Musk is opening a new era by replacing heavy, expensive lithium batteries with lighter, cheaper, and safer aluminum batteries. If Tesla succeeds in bringing this technology into the Model 2, it could become the most affordable, durable, and convenient EV ever made. If you found this information helpful, don't forget to like and share the video so more people can see it. Tesla CEO Elon Musk has confirmed that more specifics will be added to the newly released Master Plan Part 4. The update came directly from Musk on X, after retail investor and Tesla bull Dave Lee pointed out that the current release feels more like an introduction than a detailed roadmap. Musk responded simply, "Fair enough. We'll add more specifics. And those specifics might just include Tesla's most radical battery breakthrough yet. A super aluminum-ion battery promising a 10-minute full charge, 1,000 miles of range, and a 27-year lifespan. Numbers that stand in stark contrast to today's lithium-ion packs. But with a new chemistry comes new questions. Is aluminum-ion truly safer than lithium-ion? Could it avoid the risk of thermal runaway? The chain reaction that makes lithium packs catch fire and even fuel their own burn with oxygen? And if it does, what would that mean for EV owners parking their cars in garages or taking long-distance road trips? How does Tesla's aluminum-ion battery stack up against lithium-ion when it comes to fire risk? This isn't just a technical detail, it's one of the top concerns we hear from our audience whenever we cover new EV tech. Viewers ask the same question again and again. Are these batteries really safe to park in a garage, to charge overnight, or to drive cross-country without worry? The reality is that today's lithium-ion packs carry a very real risk of thermal runaway. If a cell is punctured in a crash or overheats from a defect, it can trigger a chain reaction. Once ignited, a lithium pack doesn't just burn, it produces its own oxygen supply, which means the fire feeds itself until every combustible material is gone. In numbers the public can grasp, that translates into fires burning at 1,000 to 1,100 degrees Celsius, hotter than molten aluminum, and requiring 20,000 to 30,000 gallons of water to extinguish. Firefighters report that's about 20 times more water than it takes to put out a gasoline car blaze, which explains why EV fires often make national headlines. Aluminum-ion, on paper, changes the equation in more ways than one. The chemistry itself is fundamentally different from lithium-ion. Instead of relying on flammable liquid electrolytes that can vaporize and ignite, aluminum-ion cells often use ionic liquids or solid-state-like materials that are far more stable. That alone reduces the likelihood of a runaway event. In controlled lab studies, aluminum-ion cells have tolerated operating temperatures approaching 200 degrees Celsius without venting gases or catching fire, while lithium-ion packs begin showing instability at roughly 150 degrees. For context, cabin temperatures inside a sealed vehicle parked under summer sun in Arizona or Texas can peak at 65 to 70 degrees Celsius, which is far below either threshold, but still high enough to raise consumer anxiety about lithium-ion swelling or failure. An extra 50-degree safety buffer could be the difference between a routine hot day and a dangerous incident. Another crucial point is the absence of oxygen release. When a lithium-ion cell ruptures, the electrolyte decomposition liberates oxygen, which feeds the fire. That's why EV fires tend to burn until every reactive element is consumed, often reaching flame lengths of several meters and lasting for hours. Aluminum ion does not share this self-oxidizing characteristic. Even if a short circuit triggers localized heating, the reaction is expected to die out rather than perpetuate itself. For first responders, this could mean the difference between deploying 20,000 gallons of water versus a few hundred, closer to the needs of a gasoline vehicle fire. There's also the question of cycle stability. A lithium-ion pack degrades after repeated heating and cooling cycles, sometimes swelling and increasing the risk of internal shorts. Early data on aluminum ion suggests the chemistry remains structurally stable across thousands of cycles. Some reports point to 10,000 charge-discharge cycles, which reduces the chance of wear-induced shorts that can trigger fires late in a battery's life. In theory, that longer stability aligns with the projected 27-year lifespan, making catastrophic end-of-life failures less likely. Of course, these results come from university labs and small-scale prototypes. Tesla's challenge will be to validate aluminum ion at the gigafactory level, where cell defects, scaling issues, and long-term abuse testing can reveal hidden vulnerabilities. Still, if the chemistry holds under real-world stress, aluminum ion could effectively neutralize the single biggest public fear of EVs, that a parked car might ignite without warning. Do you have trust in this new battery? Type aluminum if you do. Charging range and lifespan. How does aluminum ion stack up? Beyond safety, the next big questions for any EV driver are charging speed, range, and longevity, areas where Tesla's aluminum-ion battery could rewrite the rules. Today, a Model S long range using lithium-ion requires roughly 20 to 30 minutes to charge from 10 to 80% at a supercharger station. For drivers, that means stopping on long road trips and waiting, sometimes longer than they'd like, before hitting the highway again. Aluminum-ion, by contrast, promises a full charge in just 10 minutes, a figure that brings EV refueling in line with the convenience of filling a gasoline tank. For older drivers or anyone who values time over technical specs, that difference isn't just impressive, it's a game changer. Suddenly, a cross-country journey doesn't involve lengthy charging breaks, and the car becomes a true plug-and-play alternative to conventional vehicles. Range is the next headline-grabbing metric. The current Model S long range achieves about 405 miles per charge, sufficient for most daily use but limiting for long trips across sparsely serviced regions. Aluminum-ion projections target a staggering 1,000 miles, or roughly 1,600 kilometers, on a single charge. That's nearly 2.5 times the existing range, turning a road trip from the East Coast to the Midwest, or even a full loop around Europe, into a single-leg adventure. For viewers accustomed to planning stops around charging stations, this promise is immediately tangible and exciting. Then comes longevity. Lithium-ion batteries typically last 8 to 12 years, or around 1,500 full charge cycles, before noticeable degradation sets in. Aluminum-ion is aimed at a 27-year lifespan, potentially surviving 10,000 cycles, meaning the battery could outlive the car itself. Put simply, A single aluminum-ion pack might power 2 or 3 different vehicles across decades, dramatically reducing replacement costs and long-term maintenance concerns. Points to watch. Why aluminum-ion could be a game-changer. Tesla's aluminum-ion battery is still in the experimental phase, but the path to 2026 looks promising. Scaling production to mass market levels will be a challenge, yet Tesla has a track record of turning prototypes into reality faster than most expected. Cost is another area where aluminum-ion could shine. While lithium-ion packs currently drive high replacement costs, sometimes tens of thousands of dollars, aluminum-ion's projected longevity could dramatically reduce the total cost of ownership. One battery might last for 2 or even 3 vehicles, giving consumers more value over decades and making high-performance EV ownership more accessible. Infrastructure is improving alongside battery technology. While a 10-minute full charge requires higher power delivery than today's V3 superchargers provide, Tesla is already exploring upgraded stations and grid solutions. Early pilot projects suggest urban and high-traffic routes could see these ultra-fast chargers sooner rather than later, meaning long-distance trips could become nearly as seamless as stopping at a gas station. For drivers, that means a future where EVs are not just green and high-tech, but also faster, safer, and more convenient than traditional cars. With production, cost, and charging infrastructure all moving in the right direction, aluminum-ion could deliver on its bold promises and redefine what drivers expect from electric vehicles. So, how would a 10-minute full charge change your daily routine or weekend trips? Would you feel comfortable leaving your EV parked in a hot garage overnight with aluminum-ion safety? And if a single battery could last decades, would you consider keeping your car longer or even passing it on to a family member? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Hit that like button if this video helped you understand Tesla's new battery, and subscribe with the bell so you never miss the latest EV news. The whole EV industry is watching the biggest energy technology breakthrough in the past 2 decades coming: Tesla's 2026 aluminum-ion battery. Elon Musk just officially announced its latest incredible reveal 35 minutes ago. And for the first time ever, Tesla's battery is coming with the insane 3-no battery formula. No fire risk, no dead battery before 15,000 cycles, and no supply limit. Every EV owner is living with the ticking time bomb of lithium-ion. The whole US was once shocked when 1 million lithium-powered portable chargers, 24,000 Vivi e-bikes lithium packs were recalled after explosions. But now, Tesla will transfer that fear from consumers to their rivals. How does Tesla's aluminum-ion battery completely eliminate fire risk, once and for all? What if Tesla aluminum batteries could get rid of all the risks that come with lithium today? We choose EVs for a cleaner future, for savings, for smart tech. But with lithium, the trade-off feels too big. Our safety. Living in fear, never knowing when it might blow. Don't worry, Tesla has the answer. They are designing a battery pack that doesn't have the flammable liquid electrolyte like in lithium ones. Nothing to burn, nothing to ignite. The core material here is pure aluminum, and it brings a natural advantage that graphite, silicon, or carbonate in lithium batteries never had. Superior heat resistance. Lithium starts running into risk once temperatures pass about 120 degrees Celsius, but aluminum keeps working perfectly in the 200 to 250 degrees Celsius range. That's basically double the thermal safety window. But there's a massive change no one is talking about yet. That's the aluminum cathode superstructure Tesla is testing from Q3 this year. Why does it matter? Instead of a flat, closed cathode like in traditional lithium batteries, the solid aluminum cathode is designed as a honeycomb lattice of thousands of nano-microhexagons. This 3D honeycomb increases the cathode surface area 5 times and spreads heat about 40 times faster than lithium. Aluminum stands up strongly to heat and now even cools itself. High temps are no longer a threat. This technology then will reach absolute safety with a nanoceramic coating only 0.5 micrometers thin, only about 1/100th the thickness of a human hair. This coating smooths the cathode surface, letting aluminum ions flow evenly. That means no more traffic jams of energy that turn into hidden hotspots and eventually explosions. This structure wipes out the battery industry's worst nightmare: dendrites, those tiny metal spikes that grow inside lithium cells, puncture separators, then trigger shorts and fires. With aluminum, they simply don't appear. No complex cooling systems, no heavy protective shells. The battery itself is the safety system. Tesla is cutting out the danger at its root to protect their customers. The ultimate benefit is peace of mind when we're driving an EV. The fire risk is 99.3% eliminated, even if the pack overheats or takes a heavy hit. That's especially huge for drivers in America's hottest regions: Arizona deserts, Death Valley, or summer roads in Florida and Texas. Long trips get easier when you never have to worry about hidden shorts inside the pack. Driving continuously for 12 to 14 hours in temperatures of 110 to 115 degrees Fahrenheit and actual temperatures between the car and the road surface can reach 90 degrees Celsius will not overwork the aluminum batteries. They will never exceed 60 degrees Celsius, blocking every scenario of swelling, sparks, or fire. In Tesla's internal crash tests, the fire risk of aluminum-ion batteries drops to just 0.05%, meaning only 1 in 2,000 packs caught fire under extreme collision conditions. They're roughly 50 times safer than typical lithium-ion batteries, which have a fire risk of about 2.5% in similar crashes. With a lithium battery, friction and impact forces can spike cell temps to 90 to 100 degrees Celsius. Once separators rupture, flammable electrolyte leaks out, metal sparks fly, and the worst-case scenario begins. With aluminum, cells rise only to about 70 to 80 degrees Celsius in the safe zone. And even if they break open, there's no liquid fuel to catch fire, no chain reaction spreading flames. In the same situation where dendrites inside lithium would trigger shorts and explosions, aluminum cells simply still stay put, warm a little, and keep everything under control. That kind of absolute safety is exactly what we need in EVs carrying our families and the little grandkids we love. Every ride feels protected, every mile feels secure, and your car becomes a place of trust, not risk. You can park outside in Texas heat or cruise through the Arizona desert without a single worry about what's happening under the floor of your car, or whether your battery turns into a weak point. With aluminum batteries, Tesla is redefining peace of mind on the road. Would you believe Tesla's aluminum battery could wipe out lithium and all its risks we've been living with for years? If you're waiting for this tech to bring absolute safety to your family and every long road trip in America, drop a zero fire risk in the comments to let us know. How does Elon Musk's battery last longer than any other battery on Earth? Once EV owners feel safe on the road, the next question comes up. How long will their battery actually last? Now imagine a battery pack that could hold 3 million miles. That's insane. And that's also exactly how far an EV can go before its aluminum battery needs replacement. Most lithium-ion batteries in current EVs, like in Tesla Model 3 and Model Y, are good for about 300,000 to 500,000 miles. That means they'll drop to roughly 80% capacity after that point. And then the process of going down from 80% to 50% capacity only happens somewhere around the next 100,000 miles of driving. But Musk's aluminum battery? It rewrites everything we know about battery life, not just hundreds of thousands of miles anymore. Now it's 3 million. The battery pack can last a lifetime. Why does it last so long? Aluminum ion once again fixes the weaknesses of lithium electrolytes. In lithium-ion batteries, carbonate solvents evaporate and break down, or after each charge cycle. This process creates solid deposits on the electrodes, making lithium ions harder to move and gradually reducing battery capacity, the classic battery degradation. Aluminum-ion batteries, on the other hand, use gel polymer electrolytes, which has a very high boiling point of 300 degrees Celsius, does not evaporate at normal pressure and does not form solid deposits, limiting capacity loss over time. There's also no need to worry about fast charging wearing out the battery. At high temperatures above 70 degrees Celsius, unlike lithium-ion which loses efficiency, aluminum ions move more easily, allowing very high currents to flow and enabling ultra-fast charging without overheating. That's why current lithium-ion batteries can only fast charge at 3 to 5 C, but aluminum-ion batteries can handle up to 100 C, reaching 80% charge in about 3 minutes and 100% in under 5. Here's what it all comes down to. With just a few minutes per charge at high temperatures and a non-volatile electrolyte, aluminum batteries can survive after 20,000 charge cycles, 3 million miles, and still keep nearly 90% of their capacity. As an American, we on average drive about 12,000 miles a year, and that means this battery in an EV could last roughly 200 years of driving. That's roughly 7 times the lifespan of a Hyundai Ioniq 5 used daily for 30 years, and even over 11 times the lifespan of a Chevrolet Bolt's 17-year battery. With such a lifespan, aluminum batteries are no longer consumable. They become long-term assets. A battery pack can last for many generations of cars. The car dies, but the battery still lives. This completely changes the economics of EVs. The biggest maintenance cost for EVs, or rather for the battery, is completely eliminated. Spending $13,000 to $22,000 on a new battery is also no longer necessary. And more importantly, a Tesla with a like-new aluminum battery won't lose value quickly like we see with the Model S or Model X, which can lose up to 65% of their original value in the first 3 years. After 10 years, if owners want to upgrade to a new car, they can still sell a Tesla with an aluminum battery for only about 20% less than its original price, getting nearly the full purchase value back. And there you have it. Tesla's aluminum-ion battery is changing not just the game, but the whole world. It's giving us all a worry-free way to drive more safely. No worry about maintenance costs, or searching for the cheapest battery replacement option. That's our coming future, where the average American doesn't have to choose between their wallet and the planet. If you found this video helpful, hit the like button and share it with your friends. When we posted our deep dive on the upcoming Tesla Model 2 a few weeks back, one detail sparked non-stop debate: the sodium-ion battery. Dozens of our viewers asked, what exactly is this technology? Why would Tesla ditch lithium for sodium? And is it really tough enough for a real-world EV? Well, today's big news. We believe Tesla is officially bringing sodium-ion batteries to market, starting with the 2026 Model 2. If true, this could mark the biggest battery shift the EV world has seen in over a decade. Is it cheaper? Safer? Easier to scale? And what does it mean for future EV prices? Maybe even yours. What is sodium-ion? And could it really power Tesla's next revolution? Sodium-ion batteries, as the name suggests, use sodium instead of lithium as the charge carrier. It may sound like a minor chemistry tweak, but the implications are massive. Sodium is the 6th most abundant element on Earth, found in ordinary salt, and is nearly 500 times more plentiful than lithium in the Earth's crust. It's also significantly cheaper. Current raw material estimates suggest sodium costs about 30 to 50% less than lithium carbonate on the global market. That means not just lower battery prices, but a supply chain less exposed to geopolitical risk and market volatility. In terms of technical performance, lithium-ion still dominates on raw energy density, typically delivering 240 to 270 watt-hours per kilogram at the cell level. Sodium-ion, in contrast, achieves around 160 to 180 watt-hours per kilogram, roughly 30% lower. However, Tesla appears to be betting that absolute range isn't everything, especially for a budget-friendly EV like the Model 2. Most daily drivers rarely need more than 200 to 300 kilometers per charge. And for that range, sodium-ion is more than sufficient. Where sodium-ion truly shines is in safety and cold weather reliability. Its thermal stability is much higher, meaning the risk of fire or thermal runaway is drastically reduced, a key concern in urban EV deployments. Moreover, sodium-ion cells maintain better charge retention and internal resistance at low temperatures, giving them an edge in northern markets where lithium-ion often struggles. Do you think Tesla should use sodium-ion batteries in the upcoming Model 2? Comment yes if you're okay with slightly less range in exchange for lower cost, better safety, and stronger cold weather performance. Comment no if you think Tesla should stick with lithium-ion for maximum range and energy density. Drop your reason in the comments. We read every one. Why did Tesla choose sodium for the Model 2 and not the Model S or Cybertruck? Tesla didn't debut sodium-ion batteries in a flagship like the Model S X or even the ultra-heavy Cybertruck. Instead, they picked the Model 2, a compact next-gen EV expected to start at just $17,777. That decision speaks volumes, and it wasn't made lightly. It's not just about chemistry. It's about economics, scale, and global supply strategy. First, the math. Today, batteries account for 30 to 40% of an EV's total cost. With lithium carbonate prices hovering between $18,000 to $22,000 per ton, and cobalt even higher, often over $30,000 per ton, lithium-ion cells are becoming a bottleneck for affordability. Sodium carbonate, by contrast, costs just $300 to $400 per ton and is far more abundant, especially outside of China. That alone can cut raw material costs per battery by 30 to 50%, depending on configuration. For a 50 kilowatt-hour battery pack, the switch from lithium to sodium can save upwards of $1,500 to $2,000, enough to drop the car's retail price by thousands. Second, Tesla knows the real-world usage profile of its entry-level buyers. Most drivers in North America and Europe average only 35 to 50 kilometers per day. The Model 2 doesn't need 500 miles of range, it needs consistency, safety, and affordability. A 50 kilowatt-hour sodium-ion pack, with an energy density of about 170 watt-hours per kilogram, could still provide up to 250 miles, 400 kilometers of range, more than sufficient for daily urban use, and aligned with what most first-time EV buyers expect. But perhaps the most strategic factor is supply chain independence. Over 65% of global lithium refining and over 70% of cobalt mining are controlled by China and the DRC respectively. Tesla's pivot to sodium, which is globally distributed and available in massive reserves in countries like the US, India, and Australia, is a move to insulate production from geopolitical shocks. Sodium-ion also eliminates cobalt entirely, sidestepping the ethical issues tied to child labor and mining practices in the Congo. So why not put sodium-ion in the Model S or Cybertruck? Because those vehicles require maximum performance, high-voltage architecture, and ultra-high range, things sodium-ion isn't optimized for yet. But for the Model 2, designed to be light, efficient, and produced in the millions, sodium-ion isn't a fallback option. It's the key to making an EV for the masses at scale without compromise. How does real-world performance still feel like a Tesla? Let's get one thing straight. Just because the 2026 Model 2 uses a sodium-ion battery doesn't mean Tesla is cutting corners on performance. The sodium-equipped Model 2 is expected to deliver a real-world range of 260 to 280 kilometers per charge, roughly 160 to 175 miles. While that's lower than Tesla's long-range flagships, it's more than enough for daily commuting, urban errands, and even short weekend trips. And thanks to Tesla's ultra-efficient drivetrain and vehicle architecture, that range feels smooth and reliable, not compromised. Fast charging is also on point. The new sodium-ion pack reportedly supports 10% to 80% charging in just 18 minutes, competitive with most lithium-based fast-charging EVs on the market today. That's a critical factor for city dwellers and fleet vehicles, where turnaround time matters more than raw range. Durability? That's where sodium shines. With a cycle life of roughly 3,000 full charges, equivalent to about 1 million kilometers, the battery is built for longevity. For the average driver putting in 15,000 kilometers per year, that translates to over 60 years of use, well beyond the lifespan of the car itself. Add in its wide operating temperature range, from -20 degrees Celsius to +50 degrees Celsius, and you get consistent performance whether you're in snowy Toronto or a scorching Texas summer. And perhaps most importantly, safety. Sodium-ion cells have inherently higher thermal stability, meaning the chances of fire or thermal runaway are drastically reduced compared to lithium-ion. Who's supplying Tesla's sodium-ion batteries, and why does it matter? Tesla isn't going it alone in this sodium-ion shift. Behind the scenes, the company is working with some of the biggest names in battery tech, and one partner stands out: CATL. The Chinese battery giant, Contemporary Amperex Technology Limited, unveiled its first-generation sodium-ion cells in late 2023, boasting not only solid performance but also compatibility with lithium-based systems. According to sources close to the supply chain, Tesla's Gigafactory in Shanghai will be the first site to assemble the sodium-ion variant of the Model 2. This makes logistical and strategic sense. China leads the world in sodium-ion R&D and material refinement, and Shanghai already serves as a key export hub for Tesla's global vehicle production. Leveraging CATL's sodium tech in China means Tesla can fast-track integration while controlling costs at scale. The hybrid pack architecture also opens up new possibilities. Instead of going fully sodium or fully lithium, Tesla may opt for a blended battery pack, using sodium cells for base capacity and lithium cells for peak output and fast charging. This mixed chemistry approach allows for smarter thermal management, more flexible software tuning, and ultimately a better balance between affordability and performance. It's not just about cutting price. It's about engineering the right battery for the right car. So, is sodium-ion the battery revolution Tesla's been quietly preparing for? Or just a stepping stone to something bigger? And would you consider a Model 2 knowing it runs on sodium, not lithium? We want to hear your take. Would you buy one? Is the trade-off worth it for the price? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Tesla has just pulled the curtain back on its 2026 super sodium-ion battery tests, but Elon Musk is keeping most of the details under wraps. According to fresh leaks out of Fremont, this new chemistry could crush today's lithium-ion cells in every category that matters: range, charging speed, cycle life, and even production costs. And if rumors hold true, the first car to benefit might be the long-awaited Model 2. But how real is this breakthrough? Could this technology finally make EVs cheaper than gas cars? And most importantly, what does it mean for drivers like you who care about performance, reliability, and cost of ownership? That's exactly what we'll break down in today's video. You're watching AutoGearshift, where Tesla news comes with hard numbers, straight analysis, and none of the fluff you'll find elsewhere. What makes Tesla's 2026 sodium-ion so different? Sodium-ion batteries aren't new, but what Tesla is testing for 2026 is on another level entirely. Instead of the 250 to 270 watt-hours per kilogram you'd get from today's top lithium-ion NCM cells, these packs are expected to deliver 280 to 300 watt-hours per kilogram. That bump may not sound huge on paper, but in practice it means more miles out of the same sized pack, a critical factor for making smaller cars like the Model 2 more practical. Longevity is where the gap really opens. Current lithium-ion packs usually last about 1,800 cycles before noticeable degradation. Tesla's sodium-ion design is expected to push close to 4,000, essentially doubling usable lifespan. For owners, that means a battery that could last decades instead of just years, a shift that completely changes the economics of EV ownership. Charging is just as eye-catching. With lithium-ion, you're used to waiting around 35 minutes for a 0 to 80% charge. Tesla's sodium-ion cells. Early data points to about 10 minutes. Combine that with a 50 kilowatt-hour pack, and the Model 2 could realistically hit 500 kilometers of range per charge, compared with about 420 kilometers from the same capacity in lithium-ion. In other words, the car would drive farther, charge faster, and keep its performance for much longer. Temperature tolerance is another overlooked win. These cells are projected to work reliably from -40 all the way to 60 degrees Celsius, while lithium-ion chemistry struggles outside of -20 to 45. For anyone living in Canadian winters or desert summers, that difference is critical. How? Tesla's sodium-ion design uses a more stable electrolyte and improved cathode materials. In the cold, sodium ions move more easily than lithium, so the battery doesn't slow down. In the heat, the materials resist breaking down, keeping the pack safe and efficient even at very high temperatures. And then there's cost. By cutting 20 to 30% off production compared with lithium-ion, Tesla could bring the price of a 50 kilowatt-hour sodium-ion pack down to roughly $4,200 to $6,000, compared with $6,000 to $7,500 for a comparable lithium-ion pack. That reduction alone could push the Model 2's sticker price down from around $25,000 to an estimated $20,000 to $22,000, making it far more accessible to everyday buyers while still leaving Tesla a healthy margin. Put all of this together, and it's easy to see why Fremont insiders are calling sodium-ion the battery that outclasses lithium on every meaningful front. For the Model 2, it means a car that goes farther, charges in minutes, lasts twice as long, and costs less to build, a combination no EV on the market has reached yet. Would you actually consider sodium-ion when buying the Model 2 or even replacing the battery in your current EV? Comment sodium. If yes, you'd go for sodium-ion. Or comment your alternative choice and tell us why. What has Elon Musk not revealed about sodium-ion? Despite Elon Musk regularly highlighting lithium-ion and aluminum-ion developments, sodium-ion technology has been almost entirely absent from public discussions, including Investor Day presentations and his Twitter updates. According to Fremont insiders, Tesla is quietly testing a 60 kilowatt-hour sodium-ion cell tailored for the Model 2, already designed for mass production. Early test data suggest that the pack can sustain continuous power output of around 120 to 150 kilowatts without overheating, which would allow the Model 2 to maintain highway speeds while using fast charging stations efficiently. The chemistry shows promise in extending battery lifespan. Even under repeated fast charging cycles, the cells maintain stable performance after thousands of cycles, far beyond what standard lithium-ion packs can deliver before noticeable degradation. Range projections indicate the 60 kilowatt-hour pack could provide consistent distances per charge under real-world driving conditions, outperforming equivalent lithium-ion setups, particularly in city stop-and-go traffic where efficiency typically drops. Thermal management remains a challenge. High output and ultra-fast charging generate significant heat, and early prototypes reveal cell temperatures can rise above 60 degrees Celsius under peak load. Tesla's engineers are reportedly experimenting with advanced liquid cooling channels and modified cell arrangements to evenly dissipate heat, ensuring voltage stability and preventing capacity loss. These improvements are designed to allow the battery to operate safely across a wide range of conditions, from extreme cold to hot climates, without compromising charging speed or lifespan. While the spotlight has been on sodium, we've uncovered equally compelling work with aluminum-ion chemistry on autogearshift channel. If you're curious how other battery choices like aluminum could change the game for the Model 2, definitely check that one out after our final part 3 about sodium-ion battery coming right up. What does the future hold for sodium-ion batteries? Looking ahead, sodium-ion technology is poised to become a key driver for Tesla's EV strategy. According to insider projections, Tesla plans to scale production of 60 kilowatt-hour sodium-ion cells at Fremont and possibly Giga Shanghai, aiming for tens of thousands of units per month by late 2026. This approach would allow the Model 2 to benefit from mass production efficiencies early on, while maintaining consistent quality across every pack. Cost projections suggest that as Tesla optimizes its supply chain and leverages widely available sodium, the per-pack cost could drop significantly compared with current battery solutions. Early modeling estimates place the 60 kilowatt-hour pack at roughly $4,500 to $5,500 when production ramps, with potential further reductions to $4,000 to $4,500 within the next 2 to 3 years. Such pricing could enable Tesla to introduce the Model 2 at a competitive entry-level range that undercuts many current lithium-ion EVs, giving it an advantage in both cost and adoption. Tesla is also reportedly considering incremental increases in cell size and energy density for future lines, which could allow them to scale up to 75 to 80 kilowatt-hour packs without a major redesign of the production line. This flexibility in the production plan means the company could respond quickly to demand spikes or regional market needs, while continuing to refine the chemistry and manufacturing process. If successful, this strategy would not only secure the sodium-ion battery as a cornerstone of Tesla's mass-market EVs, but could also pressure competitors who remain dependent on lithium or aluminum chemistry, cementing Tesla's technological lead for years to come. Tesla's move into sodium-ion is less about chasing headlines and more about securing the next decade of EV dominance. The numbers suggest a turning point is close, and 2026 could be the year this hidden project steps into the spotlight. Now here's the real question. If Tesla can deliver a sub-$20,000 EV powered by a sodium pack, will legacy automakers even have a chance to compete? Drop your thoughts below. We read every single one. If you've made it this far, chances are you've enjoyed hanging out with us in this video. So why not stick around by subscribing to our channel? The next leak or breakthrough could drop any day, and you'll want to be right here on autogearshift when it does. Elon Musk is preparing to launch a battery no one in the auto industry thought possible. A sodium-ion pack with 0 lithium, 0 cobalt, and 0 nickel. While China is already mass-producing its own sodium-ion cells, Tesla is betting on a completely different chemistry, one designed to cut costs, boost safety, and change the game. So here's the question. Could this be Musk's secret weapon to finally deliver the Model 2 under $17,000? Could it break China's dominance in batteries and reshape the EV market for good, especially in the US? And most importantly, what does this mean for you, the drivers looking for an affordable, safe, long-lasting EV? That's what we'll unpack in today's video. How can NFPP sodium-ion outperform today's lithium batteries? Tesla's bet centers on a chemistry called sodium iron phosphate pyrophosphate, or NFPP. Unlike conventional batteries, it contains no lithium, cobalt, nickel, manganese, or rare earth elements, eliminating the supply chain chokehold that keeps most automakers tied to China. Instead, it uses abundant materials: sodium derived from soda ash, iron, phosphorus from phosphate rock, carbon for the anode, and aluminum as the current collector. That shift alone is massive, because it means production could be scaled with resources readily available inside the United States. On a molecular level, NFPP is built for stability. The cathode's crystal structure is resistant to breakdown and does not release oxygen, which removes the root cause of thermal runaway. This is a battery that doesn't catch fire, doesn't explode, and can be drained to 0% without damage. Its discharge window runs from 4 volts down to 2, giving engineers more accurate state-of-charge readings than lithium-ion. It also keeps performing in brutal conditions, down to -40 degrees Celsius and up to 60 degrees, thanks to an electrolyte that allows sodium ions to move freely even at freezing temperatures without forming dangerous dendrites. The engineering advantages stack up quickly. NFPP cells don't need complex liquid cooling or HVAC systems. They can rely on passive thermal management, slashing parasitic energy losses by as much as 90% compared to lithium-ion. Their cycle life is remarkable, full 100% depth of discharge cycles with minimal degradation, making them ideal for both vehicles and grid storage. They can even be shipped at zero state of charge, unlike lithium packs that must be held at around 30% and treated as hazardous cargo. With no moving parts, no need for fluid top-offs, and roughly 20% lower cost than the best lithium systems on today's market, NFPP offers a compelling case for mass deployment. The geopolitical angle is just as important. While current lithium, cobalt, nickel, and manganese supplies are dominated by global mining and refining controlled largely by China, where 60 to 70% of lithium, 70 to 80% of graphite, and 90% of manganese are processed, the sodium, iron, and phosphorus required for NFPP can be mined and refined domestically. Wyoming, for example, holds the world's largest reserves of soda ash, giving the U.S. a unique chance to localize production and break away from dependence on Chinese supply chains. Where does it fit in practice? NFPP is being positioned primarily for grid-scale energy storage, where safety, cost, and durability matter more than packing maximum range into a vehicle. But the chemistry's potential doesn't stop there. Its energy density falls short of nickel-manganese cobalt cells used in luxury EVs, but it matches lithium iron phosphate packs that already power mainstream cars. That makes it a candidate for affordable EVs, giving Tesla the building block it needs to hit the $17,000 Model 2 price point. In fact, the largest NFPP system in the U.S. is already online, tied into Montana's Flathead Electric Cooperative, while China has pushed forward with a separate 100 megawatt-hour sodium-ion project in Shenzhen, using a different oxide-based formula. The company driving much of this NFPP work in the U.S. is Peak Energy, a Colorado startup founded in 2023 by former Tesla and NRG engineers. It holds patents, has built demonstration units connected to the grid, but still lacks the manufacturing scale of Chinese giants. Its domestic rival, Natron Energy, is pursuing a different sodium-ion chemistry aimed at data centers. Overseas, CATL and BYD are pouring billions into sodium-ion development, focusing on PBA-based chemistries with mass production slated for 2025. The contrast is clear. China is racing to scale while Tesla and Peak Energy are trying to differentiate through chemistry. The long-term vision is that sodium-ion could finally deliver what Elon Musk has been promising for years: an EV that is good enough, with 200 to 250 miles of range, a safer battery, longer life, and a price tag that truly makes electric cars accessible. Whether NFPP becomes Tesla's ace in the hole or remains a niche solution will depend on how fast production can scale. But one thing is certain: the industry is watching closely, because this is no longer just theory. It's already being tested in the field. And here's where it stacks up against the competition. NMC cells dominate premium EVs because of their high energy density, giving 300 to 400 miles of range, but they're extremely expensive and tied to cobalt and nickel supply chains that are not only toxic to mine, but also highly volatile in price. Worse, they're prone to thermal runaway, which is why fire recalls keep making headlines. LFP packs, on the other hand, cut costs and improve safety, making them popular in mass-market EVs. But they still depend on lithium, and nearly 70% of global refining happens in China. That leaves automakers vulnerable to geopolitical bottlenecks and price swings. NFPP sodium-ion doesn't just sidestep those issues. It uses sodium, iron, and phosphate that can be sourced locally, reducing costs by roughly 20% versus the best lithium systems, while offering superior thermal stability and cycle life. The trade-off is lower energy density than NMC, meaning 200 to 250 miles of range instead of 350 plus, But for affordable EVs and grid-scale storage, that balance of cost, safety, and independence could be the real disruptor. Would you trust a battery that doesn't catch fire and lasts longer for your everyday car? If you agree, comment sodium-ion below. And share, what's your biggest concern about EV batteries today? Don't go anywhere because we have more to come. Why Tesla's NFPP could outlast CATL's sodium-ion rush. China's battery giants CATL and BYD are racing ahead, unveiling their second-generation sodium-ion cells under the Naxtra brand and preparing for mass production by late 2025. They've already shown off real-world scale with a 100 megawatt-hour project in Shenzhen, and their packs are undeniably cheap and safe compared to NCM. On the surface, it looks like an unstoppable advance. But here's the catch. The Chinese designs lean on oxide-based PBA chemistry, a shortcut that cuts cost today but sacrifices long-term stability, cycle life, and efficiency under stress. In other words, Naxtra might be good enough for entry-level EVs or grid storage, but it's not engineered for durability or precision performance. Meanwhile, Korean competitors, LG, Samsung, SK On, are struggling to adapt. Their sodium-ion roadmaps don't even target commercialization until 2030, and their global EV battery share has already collapsed from over 30% in 2021 to just 16.4% in 2025, while China has soared to nearly 78% dominance. The battlefield is clear: cheap, fast-to-market Chinese packs versus lagging Korean incumbents. This is where Tesla's Model 2 flips the script. Instead of chasing volume like KTL or waiting like Korea, Tesla is building around NFPP chemistry, a sodium iron phosphate pyrophosphate system designed for unmatched safety, durability, and US-sourced independence. NFPP cathodes remain stable under extreme stress, don't release oxygen, and can safely discharge to 0% without damage, something oxide-based rivals can't match. Add in its ability to function from minus 40 degrees Celsius to 60 degrees Celsius, with no dendrite formation and no thermal runaway, and Tesla's sodium-ion instantly becomes the most abuse-tolerant chemistry ever aimed at mass-market EVs. And the payoff? The Model 2 could hit the road with a 200 to 250-mile range at under $17,000, with a pack that costs about 20% less than today's best lithium systems, all while being built from materials mined and refined in America. No dependency on Chinese lithium, no waiting for Korean labs, no shortcuts on safety. CATL may pump out sodium-ion cells first, but Tesla is preparing a battery platform that could outlast, out-safety, and out-economize every rival, making the Model 2 not just another budget EV, but the only affordable EV that doesn't compromise on independence or performance. So, in the end, here's the real takeaway. While CATL and BYD are racing to flood the market with cheap sodium-ion packs, and Korea is still years behind, Tesla is taking the harder but smarter path. By betting on NFPP, Musk isn't just chasing numbers. He's building a battery that's safer, more durable, and made with materials that can be sourced right here in America. And that's exactly what makes the Model 2 different. Not just another budget EV, but potentially the first truly independent, affordable electric car for the global market. Now I want to hear from you. Would you choose a car with 200 to 250 miles of safe, stable range at under $17,000? Or would you still prefer a longer range but riskier lithium model? Do you think Tesla's NFPP chemistry is the real breakthrough to beat China's dominance? And most importantly, if the Model 2 does launch with this battery, would it finally convince you to switch to an EV? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'll be reading through them. Tesla's billion-dollar investment in the two new batteries has just been leaked. Overnight, the company's testing with aluminum-ion and sodium-ion has forced Chinese and Korean manufacturers to take notice. Tesla's stock has skyrocketed 16.7%, just within 10% of its all-time high. You can imagine the impact. And while Elon Musk is still hiding the details, we've already got the latest update on these two secret weapons. The energy density weakness of aluminum ion is being completely eliminated with the new formula, and the price of sodium ion is even falling 3 times deeper than what we previously expected. In today's video, we analyze in detail the latest improvements and unprecedented performance of aluminum ion and sodium ion batteries in Tesla's labs. And finally, you'll see what is the sub-$25,000 Model 2 launch scenario with these two technologies in 2026. How is Tesla pushing aluminum battery energy density? 45% beyond the prototype. No fire risk, ultra-fast charging that hits 100% in just 8 minutes, and a lifespan 3 times longer than lithium-ion with 89% capacity retained after 2.5 million miles. All of these impressive numbers fit inside a single aluminum battery pack. But there's one big issue that's making Americans, especially autogearshift subscribers, hesitate: the range. In earlier stages, aluminum batteries only reached an energy density of 220 watt-hours per kilogram, far lower than 250 to 300 watt-hours per kilogram lithium-ion, and giving just about 250 to 300 miles of range. Clearly, that's not enough to convince people who love long road trips, used to gas cars getting 400 miles per tank for decades. However, the latest leaked info from Tesla's Q3 2025 testing shows aluminum batteries have boosted energy density by 45% compared to before. So what's going on? Tesla has optimized space inside the aluminum-ion battery structure to pack energy more efficiently. First up is a 3D honeycomb cell stacking design. Battery cells shrink in thickness by 80%, from 50 nanometers down to 10 nanometers, and are stacked and interlaced. The gap between cells now drops below 800 nanometers, cutting empty space by 84% compared to the previous 5-micron gap. That means in the same battery volume, Tesla can stack 5 times more cells storing aluminum ion. Then there's a 0.5 micron nanopolymer coating on the graphene anode. Raw graphene at first has a huge surface area, but only stored ions in a few areas, leaving the rest to waste. The nanopolymer coating added now has the function of distributing the ions evenly across the surface. That means the cathode area can now hold more ions, from about 65% before to 95% with the coating, allowing the battery to hold 1.5 times more energy. With these optimizations, Tesla's aluminum battery now can reach 320 watt-hours per kilogram, a 45% boost over the prototype, without adding weight or size. Applied to a 75 kilowatt-hour pack, aluminum ion could deliver up to 450 miles on a single charge. That means it matches the convenience of a gas car and beats lithium-ion EVs like the Model Y long-range 330 miles, Ford Mustang Mach-E 320 miles, and even the Rivian R1T 410 miles. So, are you someone who often drives long distances and needs long range? Comment: aluminum ion 450 miles. If you believe this new tech can finally erase the range anxiety that's kept so many Americans skeptical about aluminum batteries. How will Tesla sodium-ion make batteries the world's cheapest energy? Just about 4 months ago, analysts were predicting Tesla's sodium-ion batteries would have a production cost around $30 per kilowatt-hour. That number shocked the industry as it was nearly 3 times cheaper than lithium-ion at $90 per kilowatt-hour. But according to the latest report, the company has pushed costs down even further, by another threefold. Since August 2025, Tesla has shifted from using sodium from natural salt mines, which cost about $500 per ton, to recycled sodium from industrial glass and chemical manufacturing plants, costing only $150 per ton. Around the same time, at Gigafactory Shanghai, Tesla rolled out a low-temperature sodium extraction system to replace the high-temperature method that used 800 degrees Celsius kilns and consumed 50 kilowatt-hours of electricity per ton of sodium refined. Tesla is now testing a new chemical catalyst based on organometallic compound, allowing sodium to be extracted at just 200 degrees Celsius, using only 15 kilowatt-hours per ton, reducing 70% refining cost. So now, sodium-ion battery production costs could drop to as low as $11 per kilowatt-hour, making a 75 kilowatt-hour pack cost just $1,200. Compared to the average $11,400 for lithium-ion, that's just 1/10 the price, and Tesla will pass those 10,000 savings directly onto the purchase. Before this, many analysts believed sodium-ion batteries couldn't compete because of their low energy density, just 120 to 160 watt-hours per kilogram, and that it would take a decade to improve. That's wrong. Tesla's sodium-ion battery, with electrode stacking technology similar to what they're testing with aluminum batteries, could reach 275 watt-hours per kilogram. That pushes sodium-ion far above BYD's Blade battery at 165 watt-hours per kilogram, the cheapest, most popular battery in the world that is also used in Germany Tesla Model Y. Sodium-ion batteries are also far more durable, with a lifespan of 15,000 charge cycles, 5 times that of lithium batteries. At minus 30 degrees Celsius, they still retain 90% capacity, losing only 10% instead of the 40% typical for lithium-ion. With sodium battery costs lower than ever before in the energy industry, Tesla is putting huge pressure on BYD, which relies on its cheapest Blade battery to boost sales. Now Tesla's batteries are cheaper and better quality, meaning BYD's cost advantage alone won't be enough to compete. If you're curious about all of Tesla's new battery technologies and want to see how far ahead they're pulling from the rest of the industry, feel free to check out our deep dive videos on the channel. Where are aluminum and sodium in Tesla EV's future plan? The specs for aluminum batteries and sodium batteries clearly show why Elon Musk is betting on these two technologies. The real question now is, which models will these two batteries power in Tesla's future plans? For current models like the Model 3 and Model Y, aluminum-ion or sodium-ion batteries are unlikely to replace LFP in the next 2 years. Tesla's new cathode formula has just been patented and will be applied to these models in their 2026 and 2027 versions. Instead, aluminum-ion and sodium-ion batteries will focus on whole new models. Sodium-ion batteries could appear in the Robovan expected in early 2027, thanks to their low cost, high load capacity, and stable performance in extreme temperatures, making them ideal for continuous operation in urban freight services. Meanwhile, aluminum-ion batteries are better suited for the Tesla Semi with high energy density and longer range. However, the earliest debut for these two battery technologies will likely be in the 2026 Model 2, with the scenario as follows. Tesla is likely shaping 2 versions: aluminum battery for high-performance variants aimed at longer range needs, and sodium batteries targeting ultra-affordable standard models. However, their launch times will differ based on the mass production capabilities of each. For aluminum batteries, Q3 2025 production tests show a mass production line could be ready in 10 to 12 months. Initial output is estimated at 80 gigawatt-hours per year at Giga Nevada and Giga Texas, where Tesla is expanding its dry electrode lines to integrate aluminum. Currently, Tesla is working with redwood materials to scale up aluminum recycling, cutting energy consumption by up to 95% compared to producing new aluminum, and reducing raw material costs by 40%, from $60 per kilowatt-hour previously estimated down to $36 per kilowatt-hour. That means Al-ion battery packs for the Model 2 would cost about $2,200 to $2,400 each. The final car price would be $19,000, launching in Q3 2026, with a performance variant prioritized to compete in the premium segment, and an initial run of 300,000 units. Meanwhile, the testing phase of salt batteries at Giga Shanghai in partnership with CATL is showing that Tesla is fully capable of commercializing this technology in the next 4 to 6 months. Mass production will likely be transferred to Giga Texas starting in December 2025 with an output of 100 gigawatt-hours. So the Model 2 Neon version will be the base model priced under $17,000 to capture the low-cost market in the US and Asia, with the first batch of 500,000 vehicles in Q2 2026. The shift to aluminum-ion and sodium-ion batteries will also significantly improve Tesla's vehicle production and delivery times. Both aluminum-ion and sodium-ion batteries do not rely on scarce minerals. Tesla is expected to secure even stronger supply chain stability, freeing itself from China's material dominance and geopolitical disruptions. In addition to reducing production costs by up to 40%, these technologies will cut the waiting time for refining materials overseas and transporting them. Combined with Tesla's chassis production line, which assembles a car frame every 5 seconds, this efficiency means the Model 2 could be delivered 4 to 5 times faster than before. So instead of the current 4 to 6 month wait like for a Model Y, they could reduce the time from order to deliver the Model 2 right to your door to just a few weeks. And that wraps up our breakdown of aluminum-ion versus sodium-ion and what it means for the 2026 Tesla Model 2. At the end of the day, both chemistries could change the EV market, but only one will truly win on cost, durability, and daily usability. Now, I want to hear from you. If you were buying a Model 2 tomorrow, which would you choose? Faster charging aluminum or cheaper and safer sodium? And do you think either of these will finally make gas cars irrelevant in the entry-level segment? Drop your thoughts below. I read every comment. If you got value from today's video, tap subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss the next deep dive. Help us push AutoGearshift toward 15,000 subs and build the most no-BS Tesla community on YouTube. Thanks for watching, drive safe, and I'll see you in the next one.